If you're upset, if you're sad, you're anxious, you're stressed, nobody goes into a full-blown panic attack. It starts with basic anxiety. So what is happiness? People say, oh, the beautiful feeling, the euphoria. Technically 4 chemicals. You can train your mind to release them at will. So your happiness can actually come into your control. My body started going into spasms. It was a horrible diet, please never do that. Weight loss, lost all the weight. Health, lost that too. This is still back in 2000. This is 24 years ago. And that is when I started training Mr. Bachchan as well, and I'm still training him. And I've trained Kajol, Karan Johar, Abhishek, Farah Khan, Twinkle Khanna. I've trained a lot of people.
And how do you do when you are in those days where you feel low?
You're given tools to manage the mind. And you train your mind to So why would you want to manifest anything? Why does anybody want to manifest anything? Tell me, why?
I think there's some desire, something that comes from within.
So what will happen when you fulfill the desire? You'll want to be happy. That's it. Simple answer. Life is very simple. Whatever we desire, it is because we think it's going to be pleasurable and it's going to make us happy. Yeah? So the first step when I'm telling people, when they're trying to manifest, I said, please identify what happiness is. Just identify this. So what is happiness? People say, oh, the beautiful feeling, the euphoria. Technically 4 chemicals. Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins. 4. Maybe there are more. I'm not a neuroscientist. I don't know. But these are the 4 basic ones that they identify. And all these 4 chemicals, you can train your mind to release them at will. Your mind can be trained. So your happiness can actually come into your control. There are practices. Of course there are practices. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
But there are practices. You can bring your happiness into your control. And then why do you manifest? Just because you can. Why not? Why not? You have a desire, fulfill it. How do you fulfill it? Put in all your energies and surrender. And see how it plays out, because karma you have to do. So whether it is a spiritual desire or it is a material desire, both the mechanics is going to be the same.
Sorry, when you say the karma you have to do, what do you mean by that?
Karma means, understand karma first at the level of thought. It's an action.
Yeah, exactly.
You're thinking, it's voluntary. You're thinking. At least most of the people think they're voluntarily thinking, but they're programmed. But yes, you can interfere at the level of thought. You can choose to think. I tell you, think of a red car, you can think of a red car. I tell you, think of a green tree, you will think of a green tree. So you have a choice over there. So karma is at the level of thought. It's at the level of speech. This is also karma. It's my action. And karma literally means action. Action. And then my physical action. All of these are energies. Karma means energy. So when the energy of my thought is aligned with the energy of my speech, is aligned with the energy of my action, where do you think I'll head? In the direction of my desire. My desire aligned with my thought, thought aligned with speech, speech aligned with action, I will head in the direction of my desire and fulfill it. Then you also need the energy of belief, which I call astha. You need belief, of course it is going to happen. And this is applicable to even spiritual goals. And then you need patience, you need dhairya. Without patience, nothing will happen, because nothing is instantaneous in life. Nothing. You didn't spring from a zygote to a full-blown adult overnight. It took you years and years and years. A seed doesn't grow into a tree overnight. It takes time. Nature has her processes. Don't mess with the processes of the mother. She knows best. Mother knows best. Seriously. She's going to deliver you to Papa also. That's Shiva. Sorry, they are my family. So they literally are my everything. And once you know, once all of this alignment happens, that means the energy force is integrated and it's very potent. It's like a laser beam. You will reach where you want, no matter what it is. Provided that's what he wishes.
You know what I'm curious about? Maybe what I would like to know is like, what do I need to know about your childhood in order to understand the person who is sitting in front of me?
How interesting. Very inconsequential in the larger scheme of things, but surely I'll indulge for sure. So Vrinda's life started in Delhi, and beautiful, lovely joint family, Punjabi household, lot of spirituality in fact. From my father's side, from my mother's side, blessed. Till date, I bless my grandparents, my parents don't bless them, I thank them with deep gratitude, because giving the child that environment when they are forming, their beliefs are forming. So I was raised into believing the manifested and the non-manifest. How wonderful is that? Believing in God as a manifested force and as a non-manifest force. Both. Mm-hmm. And of course, that's where Delhi, big family, Punjabi house, lot of food. So had to lose weight in the early teens. And the human life continues, and decided, of course, you have to lose weight, fell in love with training and exercise, lost the weight, came to Mumbai, became a fitness coach, and said, this is what I love doing, let me make a profession out of it. My father was my idol because he was so fit, and he has played hockey for the country, and he was a businessman as well, and ate clean, Rodrigo. He was a clean eater. He would not party, he did no other vices.
Wow.
And very disciplined, worked out every day. And then he was diagnosed with cancer.
Oof.
And so then you question. Then I said, because till now, health meant eat correctly and exercise. That is what I understood about health. Then I started going deeper into the mind, the role that probably your stresses play in your life. Then I started researching that. Unfortunately, I lost my father to cancer at that time.
Sorry.
But life teaches you so much. And I think when Dad passed, just a few days before that, we found out my brother's son has cancer as well. He was a child. Now I don't know how anybody can comprehend why would a child get it? What did he do? His life has not even begun.
How old was he?
He was 8 at that time. I think he would be 8 around that time. So his treatment started. Unfortunately, we lost him as well to cancer. But Rodrigo, I still remember that moment when we were there, we were praying, and there was like headlines in my head. What is the purpose of life? You come, you make a family, you have all the loving relationships, you build a life, and then poof, you're gone. Then what is the purpose of life? So my soul is deeply indebted to the souls of my father and my nephew, that they brought this question to the foreground within me. They brought my spiritual seeking right at the helm. After that, it was all about, first I went into spirituality, healing. It became such a deep desire in me to heal. I had to heal. I had to heal myself. Whoever cared to listen, just give the mechanics of healing. So I went into pranic healing. I learned Reiki, and it works. They're beautiful sciences, and it worked. And I still remember, I used to volunteer. I used to volunteer at an orphanage and an old age home. So they were right next to each other. So I would first volunteer. So it shows me the circle of life. In the morning, I was doing my pranayams. Pranayams I was doing. Mind I was taking care of. Spirit was just bubbling up as of now. And I heard a voice in my head. And it said, don't heal. You're not supposed to be healing. And I was like, I was wondering, how did this thought come? First, one day before that had happened, and then I heard this voice, and I was like, okay, so a little confused space. Okay, I did not understand, and healing was very satisfying for me because it is something that I had to give back. I had to do something for another life. It made me feel good. Maybe it's oxytocin. That's what oxytocin is. That when you do something for an extension of you, every life is an extension of you. When you do that, it gives you that satisfaction. And a few days later, I was reading a book. It's a beautiful book, the autobiography of a yogi. Yes. And I felt this really beautiful bond with Mahavtar Babaji. And I didn't see him. Please don't think he would manifest for me. Not at all. I would speak to him like I would speak to my father. I would just speak. And in the book, there is a line that comes which says, if your guru is in the physical body, your spiritual evolution is intensified. The rate at which you're evolving gets intensified many folds. And when you have a proper sadhana, which you have done in the past lives. There's a line to that effect. And Rodrigo, the book just dropped from my hand. And I started bawling. I was sobbing like a child. And I'm telling Babaji, how did you not tell me this before? How? You send me my guru now. You send me my guru now. I will give up everything. Not life. I will give up the seeking. I don't even know what I was saying. I just can't move on. You send me my guru now. That's all. And I was sobbing and I was sobbing. And if anybody saw that scenario, they would have wondered what the hell happened to her. Nothing happened and everything happened. It is like, when the disciple is ready, the master appears. Yeah. It was that moment for me that the breath would stop if I did not get to see my master. And that was it. That entire event happened, and I was planning to go. It was going to be New Year, and I had seen my guru's videos because I wanted to learn Kriya Yoga. I wanted to learn Kundalini Sadhana. So I had seen one or two videos on YouTube. They popped up from nowhere, and I said, okay, I'll learn from this Guruji. His name is Yog Martand Yogiraj Siddhanath Ji. That's my Gurunath. We call him, lovingly, we all call him Gurunath. So I said, okay, his ashram is there. And I was actually planning to go to the pranic healing ashram. As I'm approaching the gate of the ashram, it was like a deep sense of going home. I cannot express it. But it's not the visual recognition. It is, you recognize the energy. You understand this, this feels so familiar. And I reached there, and there is the biggest mercury shivling.
What is that?
Mercury as an element.
Oh.
It's the biggest mercury shivling, which is called Parad Shivling. And it's the biggest in the world, 1.25 tons. And it's the biggest alchemical feat to be able to hold mercury in a solidified form. It's a form of alchemy that siddhas do. And why it is very beneficial is because mercury is symbolic of your mind. Just how mercury cannot be held still, your mind cannot be held still. And if you're sitting in presence of solidified mercury, then it brings your mind into stillness. And spirituality is all about stillness.
Yeah. Do you think we can go deeper? Because now I'm feeling like there was a part in your life that a beautiful transformation journey when you were young. You were overweighted. And I believe there might have been some pain there.
And I thank that pain.
Yeah, maybe you can tell us how.
Of course.
Can you share with us that journey with us?
For sure. So firstly, when you are a preteen, when you are just about entering your teens, you start getting a little conscious and the weight is coming, weight is there. And till a certain age, you're not even aware that something is not right. And then one day I was walking and there were some people behind me and they said, there's an elephant that ran from the zoo and is walking right in front of us. So that hurt at that point of time. And then 1 or 2 days later, I went home and one of my uncles, who very, very well-meaning uncles, he said, I think, something is wrong with you, my child. you should tell your parents to get you checked because this weight gain it's bad. And I thought, my God, something's really wrong with me. And Rodrigo, I cried and I cried and I cried. And you know the beauty that came out of it? Next morning I woke up and I told my mother, Mom, I'm going to get thin.
How old were you?
I was 12, 11.
And what was
11,
your
12.
weight and your weight?
Would have been, I honestly don't remember. I was petrified at that time to check. But late 70s, early 80s, I don't know how much that was.
Wow.
I think it went even higher, but I did not want to see it. At that point, I was a baby. And I just started exercising, and it was overnight. That is the first time I used my will to do something. It is a superpower. So when you want to manifest something, even if it's a physical goal, you use your will. And, this is a very interesting story. I'm glad you brought me to it. So I used my will and I worked out every day. I don't think in those 7 years, when I was obsessed, obsession of any kind is not very beneficial. I'll tell you why. So obsessed, and that time there was zero education. I was a kid. The local doctors used to be there and they would say, kid, stop all fat and only eat boiled food, and that's the best for you. So I ate only boiled food. And of course, I lost all the weight. And became obsessive about it, had to work out every single day, would get really stressed if you don't get to work out any day. The result was, by the time I was 18 or 19, my body started going into spasms. And I could not know why. I started limping a little bit and could not train the way I would like to. And the same ridiculous diet was going on. It was a horrible diet. Please never do that. You can't eliminate major food groups. No protein, no fat, just boiled food. Didn't work for me. Weight loss, lost all the weight. Health, lost that too. So then went to the doctor and they said, and nobody could diagnose it. So one day my brother's friend, he just said, he was a surgeon, orthopedic surgeon. So he said, it's very unlikely, but I think you might have osteoporosis. And they say it cannot happen to such a young person. And that time awareness was not that much. So he said, I think it might be osteoporosis. Let's check. So we did the proper testing for it and I had osteoporosis.
Oh no.
And that was at 20, when I was 20 years old, 19, 20 I must have been. And my whole world kept crumbling down and I was limping. They said, if you sneeze too hard, your ribs are going to crack. I could not work out the way I wanted to, and I'd fallen in love with training. And in fact, they told me that you have survived this much also and not have fractures all over you is because you were training. So my working out saved me. But the diet was so poor that what will just the workout do? The nutrition was not there. And but I would still try to go for a walk. I was limping and going for a walk and crying, feeling sorry for myself. And because I did everything right. According to me, I did everything right. And this is all before I got educated into dietetics and became a coach. So I was crying and suddenly I see this group of kids who were living in this small basti behind the house, and they were running and they were laughing and they were giggling, and the kid who was running right in front was on crutches and his leg was significantly shorter. So of course, unfortunately, he had polio. Oh. And he was running, but he was oblivious to the fact that something was wrong with him. And he was joyful and he was smiling. Rodrigo, I just stopped. So this is what grace is, that you will observe when life is sending you a message. I stopped and I saw him and my tears, literally they just dried up. And I'm speaking to myself in my head and I'm saying, what is wrong with you? How that child knows his foot is never going to grow back. His problem is permanent. And he can smile and he can laugh. You know you're going to be fine in 6 months. That's the time the doctors had given me. You're going to be absolutely normal in 6 months. So this little limping that you are cribbing about, get over it. Get over your own sob story and feel how blessed you are. You are really blessed. And I stopped and I'm like, thank you. I'm literally standing in the middle of the road, on the side of the road, And I'm saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. I said a prayer for the child as well. I can't do anything about him, but at least I can be grateful for where I'm at. And the beauty of this was that this acceptance and this gratitude, it really changed the rate at which I was healing. So the healing that was going to happen in 6 months, I recovered in 2 months. 2 months I was back to normal. Because this is the entire play of energies. That becomes effortless when you are life-centric. No, I need to keep this entity, take care of this life, to see where it can grow, to what potential it can grow, to what potential it can express itself. Then when you develop this attitude, and everything is developed, everything is developed, everything is programmed into you. So when you have this kind of a programming, then when a person or somebody comments, whether it's on social media, wherever it is, that you need to take care of a certain aspect of your life, and if there is relevance to it, you can check, oh, okay, yes, if I'm overweight, I can bring it to normal. If I'm not, I'm not. You are the one who knows your story. But just pointing fingers at people for why are you saying this and why are you saying this, you can't stop people from doing. You can take care of you. So identify if there is validity, then do something about it because your health matters most. And if there is no, then just discard it. Stop the comments. Switch off the comment section. But it's simple. It's simple. Very important to know. Be ready to learn, be ready to evolve, be ready to grow. But do what is necessary for becoming a full-fledged life. Isn't that a purpose? And see where life takes you then.
And what does it mean for you, that?
What, full-fledged life? Oh, for me, full-fledged life is culmination into my Shiva. That is full. That is my purpose. Okay. Because I have no words when I'm talking about my Shiva, because he cannot be described in words. So he's my beginning, he's my end, and everything in between. So purpose of my life is to merge into him eventually. For that, the human system needs to be kept vibrant, and the story of life will continue as it has to continue according to the karmic plan. That can happen. But purpose of my life is going back home, into him. Where there is no Vrindda, it's only him. That's all there is. Well, that's the full expression of life for me. Personally for me, is when you merge back into the source. That is the fulfillment of life.
For me, coming from outside of India, how can you describe Shiva?
If you can describe him, it's not him. If he can be put in words, only his aspects can be put into words. His truth, who knows? Who knows? I'm too small. I'm still seeking. I'm still striving. This question you probably can ask a master. Even they will fall short of words. Because he's the nothingness. He's the stillness. Shakti is Shiva in motion. Not my words. My Guru Nath's words. Shiva is Shakti in motion. And Shakti is Shiva when she's still. They are the same. Shiva is Shakti in motion, and Shakti herself is Shiva in stillness. Same energy. These are my Guru's words. And these are literally the end of story. So consciousness, if you want to understand, consciousness is Shiva. The screen on which this entire drama of creation is happening is Shiva. And the entire drama, the entire creation is Shakti. One does not happen without the other. See, it takes time to sink in, but it's not comprehensible. That's the source going back to him. Intellectualizing Shiva is, I'm not even capable of it. Don't have that level.
But I'd love to feel how your experience of Shiva for me was very special. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thank you. And if somebody wants a way forward, sadhana. Find your guru. Nothing more precious than finding your own Sadguru. Who is the guru who has been with you for lifetimes? And what is the sadhana that you have been doing for lifetimes? You'll be drawn to it once you're ready. And then start doing those practices. You will start experiencing his energy, Shiva's energy, what it feels like. Because it's not tangible, it's not material. It's beyond this dimension. How do you put it into words? So it can only be experienced through sadhana. And kripa, guru kripa, grace. Yeah.
You know what, when I came to India, one of the things that really helped me, there was a guru that told me something that really, really helped me, was you're going to understand what you're looking for through experience, not through your mind.
Yes.
That was beautiful. So that's also related to
Yes.
what you were saying.
100%, because our mind is wired to cognize a reality based on our five senses. Yeah, sense of sight, smell, taste, touch. All of these are coming together to give you an experience of a reality. What do you do when Shiva's beyond relativity? He's beyond. He's beyond your five senses. How will you articulate? It's a knowing. It's a feeling. It's a... Words fail. We fall short of words. There are no words in his dimension. There's just an experience. So that is him. That is him. And like your guru said very correctly, that is him.
Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share it.
I think what is in my mind is, before you spoke a lot like religion, there's a lot, it's all about faith.
Yes.
And it's all about destiny, right? With religion.
Yeah.
But manifestation is all about the free will. About
Yes.
what do you want?
Yes.
Where's the middle ground?
How interesting. So I always tell people, whoever come to me for manifestation, and the hankering that you feel, the chase that you feel, no, I have to get it, it is only because you have attached two things to it. Your happiness, like I said in the beginning, and your self-worth. These are the two things you have attached so deeply to your possessions and your experiences that there is this desperation that, no, I want to do this. I want to get $1 billion and I want to achieve this. So my starting point with my clients is, I tell them, take control of your worth and take control of your happiness. Now let's see manifestation in the right light. Manifestation for me means aligning all of my energies in such a way that they take me towards this one particular desire that I have. I'm not chasing it. I would like to experience it. But my Shiva knows best. So understanding my free will is to the level what I'm thinking, I'm speaking, I am taking a physical action. That is my current karma that I'm doing. I have free will on that, from which my future is going to come. My past karma has already been set forth.
Okay.
That I can't change. To a large extent, I can't change. I can lessen the intensity of it through deep sadhanas, yes I can. But the arrow that has been shot, that cannot go back that cannot return.
Okay.
Okay? I don't know what that arrow is. Nobody knows what that arrow is. So be childlike and play. Put all your energies, manifest. Your karma is like your bank balance. You don't even know. You don't know what is there in your bank. So play like a child and see what happens. But know for sure what happens is for your best. Whatever happens is in your best interest. This keeps you so focused, so integrated in your energies that in all probability the thing that you were desiring will happen. So free will is applied to all of your energies. You can align them. That's your free will. You can align them in one direction. Surrender, like you said, destiny. Surrender, you have to anyways surrender to the divine will. Not even divine will, the karmic plan. You have to surrender.
Okay.
Example, one human being can do everything right and yet fall sick. Can happen. Did everything right and yet fall sick.
Right.
You can follow all the traffic rules and yet have an accident. Maybe not even your fault, somebody else's fault. So what is the solution? That you should stop following the traffic rules and stop taking care of your health? No, you will still do whatever you can do, hoping that that thing happens, and yet the destiny will eventually play itself out. That is why you're a co-creator of your reality. You're not the creator. And the beauty is, in this process, in the entire process, you are working on your happiness and you are integrating your self-worth right where you are, and your lure for that desire is anyways diminishing. Can you imagine? Unless it's spiritual. Think about it. I want $1 billion. I want that mansion. Most of the time you want it because you think it's going to make you happy, or the world is going to see you in a very different way. It's a status. Or I want to create this business. I want to leave a legacy. Who knows? Who remembers? Alexander. Where is he now? How many people remember him? They do, but does he know that they remember him? Point being, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Everything is borrowed and will go back. You can try, I want to have this experience and I want to manifest, and yes, with God's grace and with the grace of the universe, you will. But you should also know how to be when it does not. Manifestation, like I said, it's an ebb and a flow in creation. You cannot control the ebb and the flow of the vast wave of creation.
Can you say that again?
You cannot control the ebb and flow of energy herself. You can't. It's a massive field. It's a force field. You have to flow with it when she's flowing, and when she's ebbing, you should know how to be. You have to know how to be. So I have a very different take on manifestation because it takes you a little more towards spirituality. Very much so. So I said, okay, get your basic needs, get your money, get your basic needs met, your desires met, and then get on with the actual job, which is seeking God. Or whatever God, explore what is that entity who cannot be described. And then life will happen the way she's supposed to happen. And she will not disturb you. The life will not disturb you because you already are taking charge of your happiness and your worthiness. So you're a winner either which way. So play the game of life, knowing all the rules, knowing all your skills. You need skills to manifest. These are all free will. Your willpower is a free will. Use your will, use the discipline, use your focus, use your concentration, use gratitude. These are all energies. We are transmitting energies. It is not a material solid world. We are energy beings, aren't we? Pulsating in this vibrational universe. So when you know that you are broadcasting energy and matching that energy, a reality is going to manifest in all probability, then why would you not want to broadcast a strong signal and attract the reality that you want? But see it in the correct light. That reality has no control over your happiness, and that reality should not be controlling your sense of self-worth. You are priceless now as you would be with a multi-billion-dollar industry. You're happy now as you would be whenever you get whatever you want. Otherwise, you look at the world. Has money given anybody happiness? No. Has status or power given anybody happiness? No. Explore and trust me, sometimes universe's plan is better than the plan that you made.
Yeah.
That's how I came here. That's how I've reached here. Yes, there are a few things I have planned, but at the end of that plan, there's always a surrender. If any project, even till date, Rodrigo, for both me and my husband, any project that comes, it first goes to his feet. We surrender it to his feet. If this is good for me, if this keeps us with you, does not take us away from you, let it happen. Otherwise, don't let it happen. And we'll work towards it. We will work. But we will want it to manifest only if this comes with Shiva. Without him, no, don't want it. We don't want it. We've chosen very, very clearly. So that is how it works.
How do you feel now?
Blessed. Blessed. That's the only word I can describe. I feel blessed.
What I really like is, so you say that with your clients, you start like by understanding that, okay, whatever you want, don't attach to your happiness and don't attach to your self-worth,
yes.
right? I really, really, really like that.
Yeah.
Now, if we break the manifestation process, it looks like the beginning is about having clarity, right? About clarity about
Step
what
one.
you want, yeah?
Step one.
Maybe, do you have any story of someone that you help having clarity so that we can understand the how to get clarity? Tell us a story.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Clarity is the step one of manifestation. If you don't know where you want to go, how do you even plan for it, or how do you even get there eventually? So I had this young girl who had come to me, and this is years ago, and she was trying to get into, she was trying to study medicine. She was going to be a dermatologist, wanted to be a dermatologist. And she said, and she had given her exams, she'd really studied, but she flustered when the paper came, and she blanked out. So she did not get the percentage that she was expecting, and she did not make it for the quota of that year. And I said, so she came to me, she's like, Vrindda, I need to prepare for next year, and I need to reduce this anxiety and the stress, and I need to give the exams really well. So I said, get clear. What do you want? You want to give the exam well to next year, or you want to be a dermatologist? Get clear of your vision. So she said, okay, I technically want to be a dermatologist. So I said, the only thing that you visualize first, let's see the end goal. You are sitting in your clinic, your name is there, and your patients are coming and they're benefiting and they're thanking you, and you're feeling good that you're helping them and you're flourishing, prospering. And she was visualizing this and she was loving it. She's like, I like that. I said, yes, and now you start studying for your exams, and the process and the work, of course, has to be done. And this is how you do it, but you visualize the end goal. And yes, of course, levels of it, you start developing a will. You develop a discipline of studying. You develop a willpower of keep applying that discipline. Consistency. You will develop focus. You'll work on your concentration. So all that hard work has to be done. Heart work, I call it heart work because it is so precious. All that work has to be done. Develop patience. So she started doing all of that. And so I lost touch. I've done the session with her and she's gone. After 3 months, same year, she calls me and she says, Vrindda, you would not believe what's happened. I said, I don't want to take her name. So I said, my dear, you don't know how many times I've heard this statement. My client's telling me, you won't believe what's happened, but I believe what has happened. So tell me what happened. She said for that year, she was trying for next year. She said for that year, some ruling has changed, and some ruling changed of how many children they're going to admit in the quota. And they said, ki one more seat, something happened, and this was a court ruling. And one seat had opened up in the specific college that she wanted. And I told her, don't get specific with the college that you want. But she had somewhere identified and she said, no, that college. And so the seat opened up and she said, there were 11 people before me. Because 11 of us were in that next range of the percentage. And I said, now 11 are more before me, how will I make it? She says, the 11 before me did not turn up. She said, in the same year, she got into the college, and today she's a practicing dermatologist.
Wow.
And a very good one at that.
Mm.
So this is what clarity does for you. You have, and the feeling, the magic is in the feeling. How does that make you feel? And can you imagine your brain does not know the difference? Your brain does not know the difference between imagination and reality.
That's so powerful.
You can be here right now and live like I'm a superstar in my head. Really, you know why? Because I'm alive. For me, life is superstar status. Everybody's a superstar for me. So I feel so, and I'm the only Vrindda on the planet. You're the only Rodrigo on the planet, and whoever's watching, you're the only one of you on the planet. You're unique expressions of whatever you call existence. And how is that not like a superstar? Like stellar. So when you feel like that already, and that is a signal that you're emitting, what do you think you will attract? It's not even faking it till you're making it. You're actually feeling this way. And then you add visualization to it. Like, it's my mission to empower 5 million lives. So one part of the story got left behind about my Sadhguru. When I met him, one very interesting part, because it's very critical. So when I met him, and he said, so I asked him about healing. So I asked him that question. I said, I had a question, and this voice in my head said, don't heal. So he smiled, and he said, yes, you should not be healing. Teach people how to heal themselves. There is nothing more empowering than that. Give them the ability to manage their own human system. So that has been my purpose, and my mission is to empower. Give the science of heal yourself. Learn how to heal yourself at the level of mind, body, soul. For soul, you have to go to a Sadhguru. But at the level of body and mind, at least start working on yourself. Start healing your energies. And my mission is to empower 5 million lives in the next 5 years. And can you imagine what happens after that? Those 5 million, it's a ripple effect. And you don't even have to try. Whoever comes into contact with those lives, firstly their family, they start absorbing that energy. And then they will start empowering their number, whatever their desire is. And that is how a change happens. Become the change. Mahatma Gandhi said this. Become the change that you want to see in the world. And that's how it starts. You want to see healing in the world, heal yourself. You want to see peace in the world, become so peaceful. Anybody comes into your contact becomes peaceful by default. There's a story when very powerful yogis are sitting in sadhana. Even wild animals can lose their natural tendency to attack because the energy around that entity is so peaceful.
Wow.
So I think it used to happen to Gautam Buddha, but I'm not sure. Yes.
So the first step is get clarity, right? And what I really like is about see the big picture. Don't that was a great example of don't get lost on the little details what you want, but see the big picture and feel it, right?
100%.
See it and feel it. I think for me what sometimes is difficult is somehow you need to believe that you are that before becoming.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So look, tell me, how can I do that better? How can I believe that I'm already that without being that?
Did you believe you were Rodrigo before you became Rodrigo? Or it was programmed into you? When you were a baby, this is a story of all of us. When we were a child, we were not born with a name. We were not born knowing our relationships. It was fed into us. Our mothers, our parents, they said multiple times, it was programmed into us. Rodrigo, Rodrigo, Vrindda, Vrindda. And then they said, this is Mama, this is Papa. So with that repetition, we started identifying with it.
Yeah.
So when you say belief, belief is a deep program which develops out of repetition. And out of repetition and repetition and repetition, relentless repetition. End of story.
Kya baat hai?
Subhanallah. So,
Love it. Yeah.
but that's the truth. So a lot of people, when I'm speaking to them, they say, how do you simplify something so complex? I said, this is my intention is to simplify. complexities. To whatever level they can be simplified. Certain things cannot be simplified. Law of karma cannot be simplified. It is really complex. Nobody understands it to totality. But when you're talking about a belief that, oh, I can't believe, I need to believe it first to see it. It's not seeing is believing, it is believe it and you will see it. Yeah. Belief can only be embedded through repetition.
Yeah.
And you just repeat it. You repeat it. You just keep de-weeding, removing the weeds of the past program and keep putting in the new one. It is very empowering. You look in the mirror, you can create what you see. And that starts with, there's nothing wrong with you to begin with. So it's a very beautiful dance between being extremely grateful for who you are right now and wanting to grow. You can't feel paucity, you can't feel worthless now if you want to create something worthwhile in future. Would not happen. Yeah. That is where gratitude comes. You will have to reflect and see how blessed you are in the moment, right now, where you are at. You're already living a dream. You already have achieved so much. I have, you have, people who are watching have. And use that energy that you've already achieved so much. You're so blessed. Use that as a foundation to build further. But the foundation of gratitude has to be there. That's what you build on. You can't say, oh, my life is useless and nothing is good is going to happen for me and that is too far-fetched a thing for me to ever accomplish. And then, of course, that's exactly what you manifest. Yeah. Too far-fetched is not going to happen. It's very scientific for me. It's very straightforward and it's very clear. You believe, you believe, you believe, you believe. No matter how much nature or no matter how much your current reality is contradictory to it. And a very big aspect, thank you for asking this, a very big part of this, the biggest drain of your manifestation power is fear, excessive stress, and excessive anxiety. I have online workshops for these. I have online workshops for manifestation as well, where I teach systematically to people how to heal your energies. Because manifestation is all about energies. It's energy of desire, which is your Ichha Shakti, Vichar Shakti, Vak Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Dhairya Shakti, Astha ki Shakti. All these Shaktis, energies have to align. This is what I teach. And when you are on this path, you need a vibrant system. You need a non-doubtful system who does not keep doubting itself at every step. Then you have to work on reducing stress and anxiety. Daily basis, every day. Remove that negative energy. It's a signal. If I'm emitting a signal of the horror of stress and anxiety, it's a horror show. Self-created, huh?
Yeah.
Self-created.
Exactly. That doesn't exist, right? It's just in our mind.
It's in the mind.
Yeah.
It is not an actual challenge that you face. It's not a wild animal in front of you. This stress is mental. And anxiety is usually about the future. Where is the future? It's not happened. It's not happened. It's in your imagination. And you can control what you imagine. So think something else. So this is also what I teach. I call it the 3-2-1 flip. Yeah. So it's a technique which I teach.
Can you teach me?
Yes, I can teach you. And but it comes with practice. It comes with practice for sure. The foundation is, it doesn't happen. So first when you learn a technique, you try it with simple things. So you will shut your eyes and you will think of some item. So usually people come to me and they say, oh, I can't control what I think. That's what you mean. When you're saying I'm anxious, that means you're saying that you can't control what you're thinking.
Can we do it live? Can we do it now live?
Yes, of course. You guys can also try it.
Yeah, let's try.
Okay. So you shut your eyes and you think of a red car. Just nod when you can. Do you see a red car?
Yes.
Think of a green tree. Can you see a green tree?
Yes.
Think of the blue ocean.
Yes.
Just open your eyes. Can you control what you think? So where was the ocean and the tree and the car? In your imagination. Yes, so you can control what you can imagine. Starting point is, yes, I can control what I imagine. This has to be embedded. Now it gets tricky when emotions are attached to it. Okay? Now you think of something that is bothering you because you're thinking of an outcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you shut your eyes and you think of some situation that is making you anxious. Now, when I say 3, 2, 1, flip, you will actually snap your own finger and think of exactly the opposite because both are in your imagination. 3, 2, 1, flip. Opposite. If nothing comes, it's all going to work out. All is well. It will work out. It works. I've taught this to so many people. It works like magic. Maybe not the first time, but you keep at it and you keep at it and you keep at it. That's how you developed any skill. So this is a skill called Maharishi Patanjali called this Pratipaksha Bhavana. Means if you're having a feeling or a thought and it's not beneficial for you, you have to know how to flip it. And it comes with practice. Because it's not beneficial. You worrying about something, you give it attention till the time you know, okay, this is action I'm supposed to take.
Yeah.
That is the purpose of that worrisome thought. It requires your attention. Once you've taken the action, once you've done everything that you could ever do, you have to let it go. How do you let it go? It will work itself out. Please practice it properly. Practice it multiple times and do let me know how you feel.
Yeah, I want to practice. So how often to do this exercise?
As often. When there's a niggling thought. I say in the beginning, because our mind has just gone in such a downward spiral. So at least every 2 hours, like we put water reminders, 2 hours have a reminder, check in, what am I thinking? If it's something non-beneficial, if it is something about the future which is worrying you because worrying about something anyway is not going to benefit you, tell yourself, firstly sit, let the emotional energy calm down a little bit, breathe through the diaphragm, let go of the carbon dioxide, settle your nerves, bring that thought to your awareness. Tell it 3, 2, 1, flip. It'll all work itself out. It'll all work itself out. Keep doing it till it goes. And it goes. That's every skill. Every skill you've learned, it's a skill.
Yeah.
It comes with repetition. We didn't learn how to walk overnight. We didn't learn how to write overnight. We kept at it and we messed up so many times. But we didn't have an option. Don't give yourself an option. Knowing how to flip a thought has to be in your control. Otherwise, your thoughts are driving you crazy.
Yeah.
And that's such a waste. It's not even a judgment. It's a waste of your vital life force. Because every thought and emotion is energy. It's powerful potential energy. It can take you towards your goals. And you're wasting it in something negative. And negative is what you will attract in. You will attract the negative. That's a law.
Yeah.
You can't be emitting one signal and receive another signal back. You can't switch on Star TV and receive Zee TV. Doesn't work. You will receive the frequency that you're emitting. So take responsibility. My life I can control to a large extent. Let me do it the right way. Let me take it bottom up. Thought at the level of desire, thought, word, action, patience, willpower. Develop these skills. Without these skills, you can't manifest. And learn how to reduce your stress and anxiety on a daily basis. One major issue, letting go of the past. Oh my God, that is a big block. Massive block. Because it's deeply ingrained. It's like a strong neural network which is there, pattern which is embedded. Failed relationship, any failure, financial failure, failure in studies, it leaves such a mark that you can't, like you said, you can't even fake it. You can't see the possibility of it. So then there are practices of letting go of the past as well, which I call WTF.
Can you share? I think that because that is a very, very important one. What is like something simple that people can do
Yes.
in order to address that?
WTF, write, tear and flush.
I was thinking something like so big and like, but it's
Life
so powerful.
is simple.
Yeah.
Because that emotion is so much inside of you, it has to come out of you. How much will you keep venting to people? It's energy. It's bothering you. It's negative. It's about a painful experience. It has to come out. Put it on paper. Shred it. Take your frustration out on that piece of paper. Shred it, shred it, shred it, shred it, and then flush it. Again, sit. See what comes up. Like I said, I want people to become self-reliant. I'm there to help. I will give you the tools. You will learn how to heal yourself. Independent lives.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, when help is needed, I'm always there.
Yeah.
So writing and tearing and flushing is something that I designed. I'm not a fan of burning negative intentions. So tearing and flushing worked very, and WTF worked.
Yeah, and as you said, what I like is like you have the tools, but you need to practice.
Yes.
You have to practice. I think maybe now, in order for people to understand the full process, maybe you can tell us what's like in a nutshell. If I want to manifest something, can you tell us what is the process? What are the steps?
Exactly. So this is the course that I teach. First is clarity. First, you have to get clarity about what you want in life and why. Then you will take charge of your happiness and your self-worth because you have to see it for what it is. It's not connected to anything that you're desiring. It's not. That's also a process. Then you will understand manifestation. How does you thinking about something actually manifest that thing? You need to understand the science behind it, and that's a process. Everything in life is a process. Then you will develop the skills, the basic skills you need. You can't get anywhere in life if you don't have the skills. The will, the discipline, the patience, the focus, the concentration, the positivity bias, the gratefulness, all of these have to be developed. And then you have to learn how to let go of your stress and anxiety. It is not done by just making vision boards. Vision boards are for visual representation to give you some tangible idea to feed your imagination. But that is a very small part of the puzzle. It's a beautiful part, but it's a small part of the puzzle. You can do manifestation for 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour in the morning, and the whole day you are living in your past. What was the point? You're living in the old programming. And there's consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency, that's a part of discipline.
Yeah.
And that's what I do in my courses, that I'm there. You are there, I'm there, there's hand-holding, I'm taking you through it, and that is how eventually you end up living a more fulfilled life.
Yeah.
You'll be fulfilled, either which way.
Yeah.
You can be happy for no reason also. How beautiful is that?
Yeah. Yeah. And what I like is what you said is about, and then with consistency, and you keep doing, you let go of the old program, right?
Yes.
And then
yes.
you achieve what you want, the manifestation.
Exactly,
Wow.
Rodrigo. Last line, the only people grudge desire. They say desire is good, desire is bad, desire is ugly, desire is beautiful. Desire is a desire.
Yeah.
And there's only two outcomes of desire. Either the desire will get fulfilled or the desire will drop off. That's it. Otherwise, the desire, this is the only two outcomes. There is no unfulfilled desire. You will take another body and fulfill the desire. So if you have a desire, fulfill it now. Or the desire will drop off. It will lose its charge on you. That's karmic.
Oh.
That's another podcast.
Yeah. So now I think we're coming to the end. I'm curious. You coach so many celebrities. What was a big manifestation from one celebrity that you can share with us?
Oh, that is. She's a very leading actress, and I can share it because she has shared it on social media, and she came to me when she had just come to the industry.
Who is she?
This is Jacqueline Fernandez. And she had just come, and we had met at that time, and I taught her manifestation and everything. The films that she wanted, the money that she wanted, the stardom that she wanted, she has manifested each and every single thing in her life. So, and these are her line. This is her line. Guys, Whatever I manifested with Vrindda has all come true. So these are not my words. The video is there on my social media where she has said it. So that is why I can share it. There are others, there's so many more, but I can only have liberty to share it if they have shared it, because it's a personal space, private space. I work a lot with corporates. A lot with corporates. I work with YPOs, I work with EOs, and so not just Bollywood celebrities, I work with corporates and high net worth individuals as well.
So maybe you can share a little bit of that now that you spoke about Jacqueline Fernandez. Can you tell us about what was the process that you went through her?
The process is the same.
Same.
Clarity. What do you want? Why do you want it? Identifying, developing the skills, and the beauty of successful people, not just in celebrities in the film industry, in any field of life. They have these skills. They have the will, they have the discipline, they have the patience, they have the focus, they have the concentration. So there is no unexplainable magic. Every magic is explainable when you see it from the right vision. They apply all of these strengths. They work really hard. I have seen them how hard they work. At their craft, at their training, at delivering, at appearing every single day for whatever they've chosen as a profession. We only see the glamour part of it. We don't see the sweat and the blood that goes behind it. I witnessed that. And I deeply respect every person who has achieved something because they have achieved through hard work. Through hard work. I mean, life can just give you one or two opportunities probably. After that, to sustain it, it's your work.
Yeah.
It's all the principles of manifestation come into play. And then they work on their stress and anxiety, full package. The package remains the same. That is what she applied and that is what she achieved.
Wow.
And then the spiritual side also comes. You evolve towards a deeper understanding of life itself.
So you are an enabler. And then you give the tools.
Yes.
And then people,
yes.
I mean, working hard and applying the tools, they are able to manifest what they want in life, right?
Exactly. Enhance your energy, know the science, apply the tools, and yes, it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, the last question is, I mean, I don't want to have Mr. Amitabh Bachchan calling me saying like, where is my coach? She's been coming here for 24 years and today she's not coming. Where is my coach? I don't want to take that risk. I think working for 24 years with Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, like, what did you learn from him?
Oh, I learned very fundamental, powerful tools of life. First is time. Respecting time. That I learned from Amitji. He is always on time. He respects his time. He respects your time. So respect for time I've learned from him. And it's very powerful because you respect time, time will respect you. I think I reached on time today also. And I've learned will and discipline from him. Because when you know that this is good for you, you just do it. You don't think in terms of easy, you don't think in terms of hard. This is good for me, I'm going to do it. Very powerful things to learn. So thank you, Mr. Bachchan. Thank you. I really feel blessed and honored to have had this privilege of being his fitness coach, his yoga coach, pranayam coach. Just blessed. And there's a lot I've learned from him.
And I think what is very inspiring is that still at this age, he still has a coach. He still shows up every day.
Yeah.
And that's really, really inspiring.
Yes, because he knows it is important for him. So I do pranayams with him primarily now. And diligently he will work out, he will do his pranayams because it's very clearly identified in his head, this is important for me, this is good for my well-being, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So where there is a will, there is a way. And there you will make time.
So good. We're coming to the end, and the last question that I want to ask you is like, if there's one thing that you want people to remember from our conversation, what would be?
Get clarity. Get clarity about what you want from this beautiful life experience, and then work towards whatever it is that you want. Just don't suffer because you don't have clarity. Don't live this life confused. It's a great opportunity, fantastic happening. Get clarity, get the tools, live the life that you want. Otherwise, life is just passing by.
Wow.
That'll be tragic.
And play with life.
Be
Explore.
playful with life.
Yeah,
She's
that's
anyways
what
going to
you
end.
said.
This one anyway is going to end, but be playful with life. But playful doesn't mean just go out partying every night,
Yeah.
just do whatever. That's why I say become life-centric.
Yeah,
Once you're life-centric, then
love
your
that.
decisions will support life.
very good.